Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yo, that's facts. Well, damn, that's a great take, bro. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So today I'm gonna get all 57 achievements on the hardest difficulty while consuming 57 shots of alcohol. Yes, you heard that correctly. I'm going to absolutely destroy my liver, hopefully for your entertainment, but they will not be consecutive shots, so at least there's that. Basically, every time I play the game, I'm gonna try out these signature cocktails from the game, like the Jackie Wells and the Johnny Silverhand, and I'll also be making my own drinks as well. And you may be wondering why. Why do this? Why 57 shots? Well, 1, I wanted to try the cocktails. 2, I thought it would be a somewhat unique idea. And 3, it's 57 shots for 57 achievements. This long and perilous journey took me about 2 weeks or 77 hours, and even after around 600 total hours of playing this game since day 1, I can still say that this game is one of my favorite games of all time, and it still hasn't gotten old, so I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the first drink we start off with is my version of a David Martinez, aka 2 shots of vodka and a sugar-free wild berry Red Bull. Definitely an 8 out of 10, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10. Playing through the Corpo life path intro, we get our first achievement, the Fool, after getting fired from our job and turning to a life of crime, and thus begins our journey on becoming a Night City legend. Based on the drink, or rather the shots we take with Jackie in the Corpo intro, I also decided to make a tequila sunrise next, because it was basically the same thing except with orange juice. Cruising through Act 1 of the game, we get the Right Back At You achievement for killing someone that threw a grenade at us, and Stanislavski's method for talking like a Corpo dog 10 times. Getting to the heist mission, which will supposedly propel us to legend status in Night City, we get a drink at the afterlife, the Johnny Silverhand, which we also get in real life. Now, I don't think I mixed this one properly or something, because it was good at first, but once I got to the bottom, it literally tasted like piss. So I'll give this one a 6 out of 10, I guess. Basically, the gist of the mission is that we're going to steal the relic from the son of the head of Arasaka, the relic being a device that contains people's psyches in them, essentially immortalizing them, I think. Playing through the heist mission, shit hits the fan. I slot the relic into my brain, Jackie dies, then I die, and then we play through Johnny Silverhand's intro, where we get our next achievements, Gun Fu for killing 3 guys in a row with Johnny's revolver, and the Lovers for dying, I guess. Coming back to life, we find out that the relic saved us, but is also now killing us. It contains the psyche of Johnny Silverhand and is taking over our mind and body, so we have to find a cure. We're in no rush though, so in honor of our choom Jackie Wells, we make his signature cocktail next with a splash of cranberry juice. Another 8 out of 10 drink. We also take an extra shot for him, because RIP to the guy, and we actually make another Jackie Wells later with a splash of wild berry Red Bull instead of cranberry juice, and that was an 8 out of 10 as well. Next up on our list of things to do is Judy and Pan Am's quest lines, which we get started while also drinking a vodka cranberry and an Arnold Palmer after, both 7 out of 10s. And by the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to the best romance option in the game, Pan Am. I really don't understand why anyone could pick anyone other than her. She's a badass, she's a ride or die, she literally helps you save your life, and she's thick as shit, like. Anyways, at some point I got Christmas tree attack, but I wasn't recording, I guess, so here's a clip of me getting the achievement again, basically. We also get full body conversion after fully chroming ourselves up, and the Wheel of Fortune achievement as well for finding Anders Hellman, the creator of the relic, who doesn't help us at all.
You fucking prick.
Continuing through the main quest lines, we get 2 heads, 1 bullet for hitting a collat with a sniper, Gunslinger for shooting a grenade in the air with a revolver, and the Hermit for piping Alt Cunningham in Johnny's flashback. And that ass must have been crazy good, because this dude really is still thinking about that shit 50 years after his own death.
Nice.
Feeling a little thirsty from all that, we try our third Jackie Wells with a splash of grenadine this time. 8 out of 10, pretty much the same as all the other ones. And finishing Pan Am's questline, we get Life of the Road, and we also try out a Screwdriver, which is a solid 7 out of 10 and a great way to start your morning. Avoiding Judy's questline for now, we start River's questline by picking up a job from Jefferson and Elizabeth Perales. And speaking of fat, juicy asses, my god, would you look at Elizabeth Perales, because she's got a fatty too. Doing both of their questlines, which by the way are some of the more interesting and cinematic quests in the game, we get Legend of the Afterlife for reaching max street cred, and to protect and serve for friendzoning River. Also, while farming for money off camera, I got True Soldier for killing my 300th enemy with a rifle, and Master Crafter for crafting 3 legendary items. The next drink we try out is a David Martinez with blue curacao and Coke this time, and it looked and tasted exactly like cough syrup, which would have been fine, but it wasn't fizzy at all, so unfortunately a 6 out of 10 beverage at best. After some time, we finally get around to finishing Judy's questline by going diving with her and then rejecting her afterward for the achievement Judy versus Night City. And I forgot to mention this, but even Johnny doesn't fuck with Judy. Like, just listen to this guy.
Sleeping on the couch.
This chick gets on my nerves. That's you and me below.
Now back to the main story, but first it's time to bust out the big guns, and I'm talking about a Long Island iced tea, one of the greatest cocktails ever invented, and if made right, guaranteed to get you fucked up. I did have to use lime juice on this one instead of lemon juice though, because I didn't have any lemons at the time, and that shit was ass cheeks, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it did still get me drunk. Now back to the main story. We sneak through this iconic parade mission, clap this Asian dude's cheeks, and we eventually talk to Hanako, another thick Asian baddie whose brother is actually the dude from earlier that killed his dad. Doing this gets us the achievement, the High Priestess. After the convo, we bro out with Johnny, and he kindly asks us for our consent to use our body to go and talk to Rogue about killing Adam Smasher, who killed Johnny. Giving him control, we sit through a little highlight reel of Johnny going on a bender in our body, which is a pretty tight scene if you ask me. Next drink to check off the list is a gin and pineapple juice. Usually these things are pretty good, but I think the pineapple juice I got sucked balls because it had no sugar in it or something like that, so I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. After that drink, I made a gin and orange juice instead, and that shit was fire. Definitely way better than the pineapple juice. Easy 9 out of 10. Also in game, we take Rogue to the movies, try to eat her box and get denied, but we do get the achievement Bushido and Chill, so it's not a complete loss. Now that Rogue's little questline is done, we got one more unique character questline to finish, and that's Carrie's. But before finishing that, we get a couple achievements out of the way while getting all the free perk shards and getting some more money. Also, we got ourselves a monster truck because why not? After we progress through Carrie's questline, meeting us cracks, playing a gig as Johnny with Carrie, and blowing up his manager's boat, we get his achievement to Bad Decisions. So now we can finally begin the Phantom Liberty DLC. Yeah, that's way better. And drinking on a somewhat empty stomach, I was feeling pretty retarded, but it did make me realize how fire this DLC is, or at least the vibe of it, and that Somi is another Asian baddie, so these devs most definitely have a thing for Asian chicks, and I feel that. Basically, the DLC starts by Somi asking us to save the president in return for a cure for the relic, so we do what she says like a good little girl and save President Myers for the achievement All the President's Men and Arachnophobia for taking out the chimera that was trying to kill us. After wrapping up the intro to the DLC, we link up with President Myers' sleeper agent Solomon Reed, aka Idris Elba, and we start fucking shit up. Especially now that our Netrunner build is finally coming together, like, just look at this shit, it is pretty damn powerful. We go to the club, hit the dance floor, sip on a gin and tonic because that's what Idris ordered. Surprisingly, an 8 out of 10 drink, by the way. And we try one more David Martinez variation, this time with blue curacao and a Red Bull, and unfortunately that was a 7 out of 10 at best. Having not gotten an achievement in a while and practically fiending for it, I just said fuck it and went and got the Wandering Fool achievement for finding all the tarot cards in the game. And next up, we play through the Black Sapphire Party mission, which is definitely a vibe. We get to meet some celebs, this French baddie edges us, which is always nice, and we finally get to gamble after like 40 hours of gameplay, which is absolutely crazy, by the way, that there was no gambling in this game at all. Like, how is that not an update? Anyways, after the party, we get the opportunity to steal an Arasaka medical truck for Muammar, which gets us easy come, easy go upon completion. And then after that, we start playing up until the Firestarter mission, where we have to pick between siding with Songbird or Reed, but I wasn't ready for that, so I decided to do some other shit instead. Doing that other shit, finishing remaining side quests, and trying out new builds and weapons, I got the Quick and the Dead achievement for killing 50 enemies while time is slowed. And then I began doing all the ending related achievements, starting with the base game ones first, and getting my least favorite one out of the way first, the Devil ending. Basically, you side with Hanako, Takamura, and Arasaka and trying to save you from the relic by going with them to take down Yorinobu. One thing I didn't know about this achievement though is that it's required that you save Takamura during the parade mission, which I almost didn't do, but luckily we did. And basically we just played through the devil ending, which wasn't as bad as I remembered, up until the very end, which definitely sucks balls, and we get the achievement for doing the ending and the world achievement for completing the main storyline as well, so check those off the list. Also during this gaming session, I did whip up a couple of whiskey sours, which is the first cocktail I really ever fucked with when I became legally able to drink, and those were definitely a 9 out of 10 at least. Next ending we do is the Star ending, which involves asking Panem and the Aldecaldos for help in raiding Arasaka in order to get to Mikoshi, where Alt can try and fix us. Alt now being a thick AI with the power to save us allegedly, and only at Mikoshi, which is where all the psyches are stored. And by the way, side note, but I don't see any option where we can ask Judy, Carrie, or River for help in trying to cure us, so who is the best romance option in the game? Anyways, I chose this ending next because although I do think this is probably the best ending, I do find it weird asking Panem and the Aldecaldos for help when we really just met them and started hanging out with them and like a matter of weeks at most, and then they all really put their lives on the line for us just because we ask. Like, I don't know if I would do that in real life. I think the realistic choice would be to ask Rogue for help because she's the best fixer in Night City, and she's literally done the same thing before already. But regardless, we do the mission, get Saul killed, which is actually a pretty funny scene.
Oh, hell no.
And then we ride off into the sunset with Pan Am. Oh, and also this ending has the coldest line spoken in any video game I've ever played.
Goodbye, B. And never stop fighting.
So fire.
After doing those endings and just the entire game in general up until this point, I was pretty fed up with using tech guns because they fucking suck, and I was really only using them to level engineer to 60 for the achievement in the first place. So I sidetracked real quick and went to this god tier farming spot for kills and farmed out level 60 engineering for the 10 out of 10 achievement in like 30 minutes. Now with guns we actually want to use, we let Johnny take the wheel and we play through the sun ending, which is cinematic heat. But what sucks is Rogue dies in the end, unfortunately, and the actual ending is kind of boring in my opinion, but yeah. After killing Smasher, we hit a save and do the Temperance ending first, which is letting Johnny keep our body to live a new life while we become alt slave or some shit, so we get that achievement. And then we reload the save and get the Sun achievement next by becoming the hottest merc in all of Night City. And now we can finally wrap up the DLC endings. First things first though, we gotta get liquored up, so we go with an Old Fashioned, another one of my favorite cocktails, easy 9 out of 10. Now for the Phantom Liberty endings, starting with Reed's Path first, which really opened up my eyes and made me realize how big of a soft-ass bitch Reed is. Like, dude really is just a down bad, delusional simp for Songbird, and Songbird doesn't even fuck with him like that, I'm pretty sure, so it's just tragic all around regarding this man. But I do get siding with Reed because you don't want to fuck with the government or whatever, and Songbird does lie and use you the entire time, so yeah, whatever. Anyways, we run through Reed's ending, which has a pretty good atmosphere to it, pretty cinematic, but not much more than that. We hit a save real quick when we reach Songbird, kill her first, putting her out of her misery, and we get the achievement King of Cups. Then going back and sparing her this time, we get pretty much the same ending, except nobody's butthurt with us, and we get the achievement King of Testicles for that. Now going back to our Firestarter save, we side with Songbird now, which is the ending I'm going to stick with and is the best one in my opinion because she did hire us and I'm not going to not do the job she hired me for. Also, it makes this Firestarter mission way cooler, like Alex fucks up Kurt Hansen, which is dope to see and definitely better than when we have to fight him, and Songbird also fucks everyone up with the black wall on our way out, which is also pretty tight. Eventually we get to the airport to try and get Somi on a ship to the moon, and that shit is pretty cinematic as well. We sneak through the airport, get ambushed by some soldiers in this helicopter, and then we eventually get access to the black wall ourselves and one-shot everyone, which is tight. And then we hit another save because we can get 3 different endings from this point on. The first ending we do is where we change our mind on helping Somi last minute, which is just crazy fucked up. Like, how are we really gonna do all this shit that we just did just to call Reed at the very last minute, right when she's about to board the ship, and we sell her ass out to him? Like, that is betrayal, that is fucked up. But doing this, we get the achievement King of Swords, and after some in-game time, we get cured by the government, but we have to go back to being a civilian, so that means no cyberware ever again. It's like going from being a rock star to working at McDonald's, so that ending is ass. And it drags on forever. Like, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep right here, so yeah, that shit was boring. Also, no offense to anyone that works at McDonald's, by the way, you guys are the goats. There's the tower achievement, by the way. And reloading that last save on the train, we complete our mission by bringing Somi to the ship headed to the moon, and we kill Reed because he was gatekeeping us and pretty much asking for it anyways. And with that, we are on to the cleanup of the game, where we have to complete all of Dogtown and all these scanner, gigs, and Cyber Psycho missions in Night City.
Get fucked.
But first, another drink. A blue Long Island iced tea, which looks cool, sounds cool, and is basically a Long Island iced tea with blue curacao instead of triple sec and Sprite instead of Coke. But let me tell you, this shit was trash. It was absolutely horrible. 0 out of 10, would never drink this again. But it did get me intoxicated, so at least there's that.
The fuck?
Beginning the cleanup of the game, we decided to start with all of Dogtown first and all those achievements. Now that Kurt Hansen is dead, Mr. Hands has a mission for us to ensure that the new leader of Dogtown isn't a bum and is an ally of Mr. Hands or whatever. Completing this mission, we get the Spin Doctor achievement. Then we complete all of Mr. Hands' remaining gigs, which are pretty entertaining actually, getting us the achievement Dirty Deeds. After that, we get Judgment Day, where we just kill 3 mini bosses in Dogtown. Pretty easy stuff. And then we find all the relic points for the relic ruler achievement. And with all of Dogtown now being complete, we start killing everyone, going on a fat cyber psycho rampage until we get a 5-star wanted level, which gets us our final Dogtown achievement. And now it's on to the grindy part of the game. And boy, oh boy, was I in for a surprise, because I was completely unaware of how long this is gonna take. Everything I had left to do in the game was all the NCPD scanner missions and all gigs for every fixer, and that shit took forever. First, we got the rough landing achievement because it was easy, and then doing all NCPD scanner missions first, we eventually got True Warrior. Shout out to the unique axe and the mantis blades, by the way, those things are dope. Completing all NCPD scanner missions with ease because we legit are just running around one-shotting everyone. We get the Greetings from Pacifica achievement because all of Pacifica's gigs were given by Mr. Hands, so we're done with Pacifica now too. And now it's time for the grand finale. The grand finale was supposed to be me getting blackout drunk, drinking 8 whiskey sours, inspired by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Well, you're drinking all night. Fucking drinking again. 8 goddamn fucking whiskey sours.
And I was going to complete all gigs and remaining missions and achievements in this one session. And I did do that, but like I said before, I did not know it was going to take this long. Like, I think I grinded from 8 p.m. to 6 in the morning. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I didn't even get super drunk, so fail on my part. Okay, so beginning this grand finale, we whip ourselves up our first whiskey sour with a cherry on top, because why not? Double, of course, not a single like it usually is, so that's 2 sours right there. And first order of business is taking out all these cyber psychos, which was way easier than expected, especially since I had switched back to the Netrunner build, so I pretty much just melted all of the psychos without ever taking any damage or even getting spotted for the most part. Killing the last one because I don't got time to try and save them all, we get the achievement I Am the Law. Now that that's over with, it's time to focus on banging out all the gigs as fast as possible. First area we clear is the Badlands, and all of those gigs were pretty boring. Completing all those gigs for Dakota, we get the Wasteland achievement, so next up is Muammar's territory. Looking back, I think his gigs were the best ones, along with Mr. Hands, so shout out to them. Also, I do like the Santo Domingo area of the game, not sure why, but it just seems chill, other than the overabundance of cringe 6'3" gang members.
Who cares?
Oh, and here's the achievement for doing all of Muammar's gigs. Next up is Wakako's gigs. Not terrible, all of them pretty straightforward. Completing all of her gigs gets us the Little Tokyo achievement and arguably the best katana in the game, Byakko, which I didn't use because I'm not a big fan of katanas in this game. Not sure why, but don't judge me. Also, while doing these gigs, we get a gig or 2 sprinkled in from Rogue, which are somewhat interesting. Doing one of her gigs and a gig from Padre, we find Johnny Silverhand's pants, underwear, and shoes, completing our collection and getting us the achievement Breathtaking. Then we finish Padre's gigs, who honestly I completely forgot even existed up until this point. His gigs were pretty chill though, and I get the Mean Streets achievement. And then speaking of forgetting about people and their existence, we got this random ass dude, Dino, who only has 5 gigs. So we do that and get the City Lights achievement. And finally, we get to this bitch, Regina, who has 23 gigs.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Holy fucking shit. Almost gone all in one night. Completely gone. If I had known she had this many gigs, I would have definitely done some of them throughout my playthrough, but no, I just had to wait until like 3 in the morning, and this shit took 2 hours to do all her gigs, which I was speedrunning. And after doing all of them, we get the It's Elementary achievement, and then we try to make ourselves happy and fill the gaping hole in our heart by buying every car in the game, getting us the achievement Auto Jock. And for the final achievement, Frequent Flyer, where I need to find all fast travel points, I think to myself, there's no fucking way I'm missing more than a couple fast travel points. Like, I thoroughly completed most of this game, so there's no way. I look up a map of all the fast travel points, easily find the obvious ones I had missed. One after another, met with disappointment. There's no fucking way I have more missing. This is it. This is the one. And finally, after the 4th or 5th one I go to, which got turned into a train station after the update, by the way, so there's no fucking way I would have gotten this earlier because I had never used the train before. I finally get the achievement Frequent Flyer, the 57th achievement achieved at 5:50 in the morning. And we take the train too, because why not? And that's all 57 achievements of Cyberpunk 2077 unlocked while playing on the hardest difficulty and consuming 57 shots of alcohol. 58 actually, and if you don't count Blue Curacao or Triple Sec as shots, well then I also had some beers and shit here and there, so suck my nuts. But either way, the moral of the story is alcohol sucks unless you drink it casually, socially, in moderation, and not in excess, at least not every night like I did. Also, water is the greatest beverage of all time, 10 out of 10, and subscribe if you liked the video, and stay tuned for my next video where I unlock all 13 achievements on Schedule 1 while trying 13 different kinds of drugs.
Bruh.